Hello, good evening, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today, I'll be having conversation with one of our clients in Brand Builders Academy program. His name is Bruno. He is 19, and he got to $1,000 a day with his business. And I'll be asking him some questions about his journey so far, his main lessons, his main learnings to share with you and see how it can help you on your journeys. He's just 19 years old right now. He started e-commerce not so long ago, and for those of you who've been in e-commerce for some time and maybe didn't have the traction that you wanted, I think it will give you some great perspective on how to finally start seeing success with your business. Bruno, thank you so much for joining me. Bruno, can you hear me? Hello, Bruno, can you hear me? Hello, Bruno, can you hear me? Bruno. Bruno, can you hear me? Bruno, can you hear me? No. I think something with your mic. Can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me? Oh, Bruno, can you hear me? I think I can hear you now. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. I can hear you.
Oh, nice. Awesome, man. Thank you so much for joining me.
Yeah, no problem.
Awesome. All right. Yeah. So we are live with Bruno. Bruno is our client in Brand Builders Academy program. You got to $1,000 a day.
I'm not quite at 1K a day, but I'm still in the testing phase, but I'm seeing results faster than I expected, so
Nice.
I'm happy with that.
Nice. Yeah. So okay. Yeah. I should have made the title different. But yeah. Thank you so much for joining me. I think there's still like a lot to learn from you. Would love to learn more about your journey so far, about the main lessons that you have learned so far, and share it with an audience.
Yeah, absolutely.
For sure, man. So where are you from?
I'm from Sundsvall in Sweden. It's a part of northern Sweden. It's almost exactly in the middle of Sweden, to the right.
Gotcha. And people ask, how old are you?
I'm 19. I turned 19 in December last year.
Awesome, man. So, and when did you start with like e-commerce?
I started almost exactly after New Year. So I joined the 31st of December, and then I didn't start working until the 1st because I had other work at New Year's. So I started like exactly at the beginning of this year.
Wow. So only a few months.
Yeah.
Wow. And what did you do before that?
Well, I graduated in summer last year from like high school here in Sweden. With we have like different programs in high school the last years, and my focus was on economy. So I've always been interested in like money and business. So after I graduated, I was really I really felt lost because adulthood just came like this. Like when other people had school starting, you were still at home. You just had to look for jobs and like get your life together and build something up. So in the beginning, I just started searching for jobs, and then I got my first job. So I started with building stages for like concerts and events and theaters.
Like a labor
Uh,
job, like actually building
yeah,
stages.
yeah, exactly, like a labor job. And then later, I started working as a substitute teacher for small children, like up to 8 years old. So I work with children a lot, and that's mostly what I do now. And then when winter started coming, that's when things started cooling down with the building stages, and I just had school. And then was my main thing was my dream was to become an air traffic controller because
Oh,
I was yeah, because I started I searched for that after summer because I just gave a shot like what if I get into this what's it called, this like school, air traffic school. It was a real it's a
mm.
really small percentage that gets into it. It was like under 2%. But I had to go to Stockholm and do some tests, and I passed every test.
Oh wow.
So I got to the last stage, which was an interview in Stockholm. And then I was just waiting on results if I got in. And I thought my life would be like set if I get into this. But then I got the results and I didn't get in. So and the next time
Like,
it's like a thing. If
were you upset? Were you upset that like you didn't get in?
Of course I was like upset because I really wanted this and I felt like I really was meant for that job. But I thought to myself, if I can't change the result, if I can't change it, I can just accept it. So I took some
Mm.
time for myself and accepted it. Like, what's the next step? I have to do something else. And something special about that school is if you fail a test, you can't ever try to get in again. But I passed every test, so I could try to get in. But that was like half a year later, so it's in a few months. So I thought now I have a lot of free time. I have to. I can't just wait for another chance. I have to do something else. That's when I started researching. I found Mark's YouTube channel, and I got
Oh wow.
interested in all this.
That's awesome, man. So people asking, like people just wondering, this is live call. Which can you tell me which date is today?
It's Thursday here. It's 4 p.m. here.
4 p.m. And what is the date?
13th. Yeah, 13th.
13th of March, right?
Yes.
Yeah. People wonder, oh, this is live. People are always asking this question. This is live. Well, man, thank you so much for joining me. So,
No.
um, man, it's like, so you didn't get accepted that job. Like, how much that job pays, like as air traffic controller?
Yeah, it's a lot. That was the thing. It's like one of the best wages you can get or salaries you can get in Sweden. It's like up the middle ground for salaries around 7K a month.
For that job, yeah.
Yeah, and the school is like 2.5 years, so and it's almost guaranteed you get a job. So
Uh-huh.
if you get that, you're like set. Because if I got that job, imagine like at 22, I'm making 7K a month already.
Got it. So for you, like how that, like, did that perspective change for you? Like since you got into e-commerce, like you see like the potential of e-commerce?
Definitely, because after e-commerce, I started like seeing the results people could get, and a real thought I had was, if you become employed, it's just how far there's a ceiling how much you can earn. But in e-commerce, it's just about you, how much you work and what you do with your business. There's no real ceiling how much you can earn. And my the only person that knows about this journey is my grandma, and she always asks me, what about the air traffic controller stuff, how is it going with that? And I just tell her, if I keep working on this in the future, in a few years, I will make more than an air traffic controller. And she couldn't
Mm.
believe it.
Yeah, man. Sometimes, it's like I have my parents as well, and my parents were always like wanting me to work on the factory, and because that's the only thing they know, right? But we're blessed to live in this day and age where like the opportunities like to make money are so like, I mean, you can be in Sweden, sell products like all over the world, right? And
Exactly.
you can scale that business to like massive numbers. Like even we had our event like a few weeks ago in Dubai, and we had quite a lot of entrepreneurs from Sweden, quite a lot. Like you guys are
Yeah.
hard workers, and
Yeah.
like so, and like these guys are making millions of dollars per month with their businesses. Like not obviously not everyone gets to that level. Like these are like special like entrepreneurs like that just work hard, like you said. They're putting everything they can into it. They've been in the industry for a few years now, but the like you said, the ceiling and the opportunity is there, like as long as you commit to it. And especially if you're committing like at a such young age. Like I started my e-commerce journey at like 25, so you like imagine what
Yeah.
you can do like by the age
Yeah,
of 25. It
that
just
was
takes it.
that was one of my main thoughts. Like when you started, you had a family and to take care of, and you already had a life you have to take care of. And I thought I shouldn't wait until it's too late. Like if there's a time to start, it's now, because now I don't have a family to take care of. It's just up to me, and I have a lot of time to like make mistakes and learn from everything.
For sure, moment. So initially you found I think the team told me you found Mark's video, right? Mark Builders
Yeah.
brands. So was that kind of like inspiring? Was that kind of like what changed in your perspective like once you saw some of those videos? Like what paradigm shifts you had?
Because you always see those other videos about people talking about drop shipping. This is what I did, easy way to make money. But then I saw Mark's video, and I saw this guy with just writing on a white screen, and him shirtless in a dark room, just staring at the screen. And I thought the way he talked and the way the stuff he said, it was, you could tell it wasn't bullshit. He just talked about what he did and how it was straight up. So I really started watching his videos, and then when he talked about mindset, I could really like connect to what he said. I felt what he said, and I agreed with everything he said. So I started watching. Then he talked about Brand Builders Academy, and what really hooked me was that he said, we won't like leave you with a course. We will help you and hold your hand, support you if you need any help." And that was all I need. I need a mentor. That I need the safety. Like if I need help, I can talk to someone.
Yeah, man. So how was your experience so far in Brand Builders Academy?
Yeah, I love it. I love the community. I love uh, the content you get. Like it's really when you think about it, like the value you get, it's crazy.
Awesome, man. Thank you. Yeah, it's we created it basically like when I was starting out, like I didn't have like it was the space wasn't as wasn't as full like with the training, with education, with courses like when I was starting out, and we created something that just would give people everything they need to get their that get that momentum like initially. And it's fascinating how it's fascinating for me like your story is that you've had this kind of like past that like was in your mind. Okay, I'll get this job, right? And it's a well-paid job, but then like you started opening your mind to the other passes to achieve your goals in life. And I think that is and you started believing it. I think the key is like to believe that this is possible, because there's like you said, there's many different videos like you can watch, and like people talking and people trying to share the best they can, but then it's like kind of like something doesn't like is not as believable that is possible for you specifically. And I think that is that is a key, because once you start believing and you have some guidance along the way, then like eventually you'll figure it out. Like there is no other way.
Yeah, because I've always really had that belief in myself, because I know what I'm capable of. I know that I am good at learning. If I really want to do something, I can put a lot of effort into it. I've always wanted to like start my own business and build something on my own. And my real dream is, ever since I was a kid, I always like been interested in money, but I always knew that money wasn't the real goal. It was what money gives you, and that's freedom. Like I want to be, yeah, like you, like a family man. I never want to be that dad who just spends their time working and never spending time with their kids. I want to have that safety, and like I could travel the world and work when I want and work as much as I want.
My man, that's awesome. So, like, was that like initial? So, okay, you starting out, you have no experience. I mean, you literally just started on in this whole like industry like few months ago. Like, was it like overwhelming at the beginning? Like all of the new information, all of the new like tools. Um, like how was it for you initially? Did you get like discouraged at any point?
Yeah, of course, in the beginning, it was really overwhelming because people talked about stuff and you had no idea what they meant. Like in the community, this tool, what is the best way, and I had no idea what it did. But then all I thought about was, we have this really great goal in mind, but it's all about the steps to that goal. So I thought, it's just let's just start with the first step, and I started watching the videos in the course, just trying to absorb as much information as I could, and not think about how much money I'm making or how much I already know. It's all about just trying to improve every day. That's what I focused on each step in front of me.
I think this is such a great like paradigm shift, because also like the expectations that people have, especially someone for you it was like a big paradigm shift. Like we all have this like for me as well. Like I had this kind of like mindset like at the age of like 25. Was like, yeah, I have to get a job, I have to get some skills, maybe get paid a little bit more, and then it's like a business, right? Like everything is in business, everything is your responsibility, right? If it works well, obviously it's great, but if it doesn't work, it's all on you, right? There's no like guaranteed like income or anything like that. And so it's a lot more responsibility, it's a lot more pressure, and it's also the expectations that people have when they get into business, probably like because of how it's positioned on Instagram. Sometimes, yeah, it's like you can get like very fast results, and you can drive Lamborghinis like within few weeks. Like it's simply not possible. Like for 99.9% of people, and you have to put the work in. You have to commit to, like you said, to those steps, and just becoming better as entrepreneur, and gaining those skills. Because like as you have the skills, and as you becoming better, then you like it's inevitably will lead you to making more money. But skills and becoming a better person, better entrepreneur comes first.
Exactly, and that's also why I like trusted Mark's Hunter, because he didn't promise fast results or anything like that. He just promised that the information he gave was true, and he talked about like how much work and time it really takes. Like he talked about it took like years for him to start seeing real results, and I thought, this guy he's just talking facts. So I had to listen to this guy, and I started watching all his content.
For sure, my man. Yeah, it's like I think most things in life are achievable as long as you put like long enough time frame on them. Um, with most people, like they want. I mean, we've been trained to do this. Like, I mean, you go to Instagram, it's an instant gratification, right? You see some like posts that like either motivational, or they have like a constant dopamine spikes, right? Dopamine, and it's like we've been accustomed to this like constant like instant gratification. And in business there is no instant gratification. In business, like it's you front load a lot of work, you do a lot of work, like you see no results at the beginning for the most part. And then like once you start becoming good, once you start connecting the dots, that's when you start getting results. But most people, they do not surpass this initial stage, because it is painful to do something and not seeing results. And I'm really happy that you're like, I mean, you're so like you're only in this industry for a few months, and you stuck consistent. Like most people just like open Shopify store, they don't get sales, they shut it down, right? Or they get like a few first sales, it's not profitable, they shut it down. you've learned from those mistakes. You've tested several products. You've put the work in. Now you start seeing some progress, some momentum. So I'm super excited for what's coming for you.
Yeah, the thing was, I was expecting to take even more time and not seeing results. I was ready to not see results in like at least 6 months. That's the thing, because I talked to other students, and like Jamie, he's one of the coaches in the chat. He said it took him 9 products to see real results, and other students say 8. And I talked with a guy in Sweden, and he said it took him 20. And he said and I just thought about it. I'm gonna take product research really seriously, and I might see results faster. And then just started getting some sales one day, and then next day I kept getting sales. And I thought this becoming pretty consistent. So
Yeah.
it is yeah, that's the fun part, seeing consistent results. Like, it's not just luck. It's
Mm.
your work that showing results. It's all the hours you put in. Like the 2 months I worked without seeing anything, they built up to this. Everything I learned from that.
For sure, my man. And have you looked into other like opportunities? Have you looked into like other, because there's many ways to make money online. Have you looked into any other ones besides e-commerce?
Yeah, when before I found Mark's channel, I looked at digital marketing, affiliate marketing, like CEO marketing. It was a lot of marketing, because that's something I thought I could be good at, because I'm pretty good at like designing and thinking what others would like. And like I said, I went to school for a program which was economy, and we talked about marketing there. So I have like a good sense for that stuff. But then I thought I just thought ecom was something that I would like fit me better. So I chose that.
So at any point, like, did you have a belief that like this money making opportunities or like online stuff is like a scam, or kind of like having like, oh, it's maybe people just like making stuff up?
Yeah. So, of course, many of the videos you see, it's not really believable. Like, I started this shop in 1 week, and I already made this much. Like, of course, if you make a shop in 1 week, you have been doing that for like a few years. Of course, you can maybe make someone like that, but how is it for someone like me, not knowing anything? What should my first steps be? So that's why Mark's content felt so believable, because he wasn't trying to. It didn't really feel like a scam at all. Uh,
Mm.
so I'm pretty good at telling like what's believable and being critical to their information. So yeah.
And that's so important to, I think it's so important to filter out the information, because right now we have like abundance of information, like so many, like, and you have to be like very like cautious, like what you believe in, and choosing the right source of information to learn from. So where you were when you were like considering joining BBA, like was it kind of like a gradual decision? Was it like, I'm doing this? Like, did you have any hesitations, or like were you nervous at all?
Uh, the first like hesitancy, or the first thing that made me hesitate, was the thought of can I really join this? And then I thought to myself, uh, like Mark says often, there's a lot of people dumber than you, making a lot more money than you. And I know I'm a pretty smart kid, so if someone can do it, it's me. So I thought, well, and I know I'm a risk taker. Like, I started investing when I was young, and I thought I can't really lose anything by trying. So I just started that application and thought, let's see where this goes. And then we started getting responses, and I got in. So it really pays off to take the risk if you really want it.
Hmm. I think that kind of self-belief is one of the like foundational qualities, because if you believe you can do it, then even if you face some obstacles like along the way, you'll still keep pushing, you'll still you'll keep like figuring out solutions, connecting with people, like you'll find a way out. But if you didn't believe, and I think that is that's something that you kind of like have to like build over time. Like for you, like you mentioned for yourself, the belief in yourself came from like over time. Like you started investing, taking some risks, and I think it's one of those like foundational qualities that all great entrepreneurs have. They believe in themselves, they can believe that they can figure it out, and they believe that like if other people can do it, they can do it as well. So how was that belief, like how did you form that belief? Do you think like this thing that came naturally to you, or you worked on that kind of to build that confidence in yourself?
Well, when I was very young, I was like the fat kid.
Mm.
People like made fun of me, and I didn't really have any self confidence. Then when I hit puberty, like 12 or 13, I started working on myself, like losing weight. I started doing push-ups and sit-ups before went to bed, and I got really skinny. And then I started working on like my appearance, my hair, my style. And then as time went on, you can't even recognize me from when I was a kid, like now. And so that confidence just built up with it. And I've always been known in the class like as a smart kid. I never liked school. That's the thing. I knew I was good at school, but I never liked it. And so after I graduated, I knew I didn't wanna go to to university. I wanted to do something else. People kept telling me you gotta study. That's that's what you gotta do. Trust me, you can't just go start a business. You're gonna fail. So, but I knew I didn't want to go to university and like spend 4 years studying and then start searching for a job and then building that salary up. Like that's maybe 7 years just there. Like imagine what you can do in 7 years if you start working on a business and yourself. That's a lot of time. You can, and things change so fast if you stay consistent like every day instead of like spending all that money and time in university. I did something for my own, and I didn't listen to people I knew. If I just believe in myself and look at the facts, I can get
Mm.
somewhere.
My man, I love it. I I personally also like I was fat like 2 years ago. Like I got overweight like significantly, like 25 kilograms overweight. And also like this, I think there's a tremendous mindset shift when you start going to the gym and when you kind of like get in shape. It gives you so much confidence. Like it's just incredible. Like because now like you know in the back of your mind, like if you could do that, then you can also do other things. Because now like other people like laughing at you. I also was overweight in school. Like people were laughing at me, and like now you just basically, okay, these people are fucking wrong and I can prove them
Exactly.
wrong. And now you have this belief like, okay, whatever they're telling me, I can also prove them wrong. And even
Yeah.
like, you look at the biggest, highest level like entrepreneurs, like, when Jeff Bezos was building Amazon, people were telling him like that this is like a stupid idea, to build Amazon. Like he was going to all of these like big companies that were selling books through stores, and they were just like, just like, hey, this is like stupid idea. You won't be able to sell books online. And he proved all of them wrong. Like, or Elon, with his cars, like no one believed that he could like sell cars or send rockets to the. So along the way, I think it's kind of like a muscle that you build of like resistance of all of the like people that don't believe in you. Because I think it's what I have seen on my journey is that the people who will try to drag you down are usually people that have not achieved much themselves. Like
Exactly.
those are the people that don't believe in themselves, that don't do much. They kind of like just like, and they don't want you to succeed, because like if you succeed, it shows them that they're like not doing their shit, and now you're just proving them wrong. Like, oh, and it's like, but it's one of the most like, I think it's also, you can use it as a fuel. Like, at some point, like I used that as my fuel. Like when people were telling me I cannot do something, and I went ahead and did it. I think was one of the best feelings in the world.
Yeah, and that correlation between the gym and business, I think it's like a crazy similarity, because when I started going to the gym and when everyone started going to the gym, you don't know anything about like the different exercises, what's important to think about. You just go in there and try stuff, and you start researching and learning from everything you do, and you start seeing the results slowly build up. And when you look back like a few years, you can see it's a different, crazy difference. And the stuff about people believing you, it's like Mark says, I don't think it was Mark. Just because someone loves you doesn't mean they give you good advice. You should listen to people that
Mm,
are in a position that you want to be in, and that's something I really live by. Like, why should I listen to you? You're not where I want to be, and you're maybe it works for you. You want to find a good job. You want to go to university, but that's not what I want to do. I want to like be able to work from Thailand, or I want to work from wherever I want, whenever I want.
100%, man. It's like, and you will see like the people, yeah, people that have been through the like big challenges, built successful businesses. They will try to inspire you. They'll try to like they will see that you're working hard and like you're trying, and they'll try to support you. And the only people that will not support you are the people that, yeah, they're more kind of like stagnant their life. They want to take like more like standard paths. And sometimes, yeah, sometimes it comes from like sometimes it comes from family as well, like even though, yeah, even though they, like you said, they might love you, but they might not give you the best advice, for your life specifically, because you might see your life journey like totally different, considering the world that we are living in, because it changes so fast.
Yeah.
My man. So how was that? Okay, so you got initially into e-commerce. It was overwhelming. Like, you started testing some products. How everything in terms of your, like, did you have some big paradigm shifts, like in terms of like what products to sell or how to sell them, or kind of like big paradigm shift that you thought like, oh, I thought it works this way, but it works totally differently?
There wasn't really a real change like that. It was more, I started taking a few things more seriously. Like in the problem research, one thing I didn't take as serious was the validation from product. You always talk about you need to find out if a product is validated, and the products I chose before, they weren't really as validated as you wanted to be, but I still chose them. Then I found the product I have now, and it checked all my boxes. And I thought it took some time. I was on my computer like the whole day, just keep looking at products, and I thought, no, this is not it. This is not it. Let's try this niche. Let's try this one. Then I found one, and I thought it just clicked like that. And it's an amazing feeling. Like, this is the one. This is the one.
Interesting. So right now you're selling the product that other people are also selling.
Yeah, there's in Sweden, it's not a lot of competition with a specific product, but there is a my big competition. They're like selling in different countries, so they're selling in Sweden as well, but they're marketing in English, and that's like one of the things you always talk about. It's finding that weakness you can take advantage of.
Right.
So when I find a validated product from the US, I can like translate everything into Swedish, and like make it a Swedish company, and that's gaining a lot of more trust in the customers, and it like connects to them more and builds that trust.
100%. And I think, yeah, for international entrepreneurs, I always recommend like to start, if their market is good, to sell products online, which is pretty much any market right now. Like, we have people inside of Brand Builders Academy, like, that are selling in like South America. We have people that are selling in Europe, in different countries. I think that it's such a great advantage, because usually these smaller markets, they have less competition, and because the language, the mentality of people, how to the language, you're not translating that with like Google Translate. You basically just it's your language, like you know it
Mm.
well. It gives you that competitive advantage that other people don't have, and it's a great starting point. And then as you're getting more momentum, you're accumulating more capital, then you can get into more competitive markets, right? But at that point, you already have the experience, you already have the capital, you might already have some team that helps you with different tasks, and it's a lot easier to do. But to from day one, let's say, to get into like super competitive markets, if you are from one of these other countries, it's probably not the best idea.
Yeah, that's my thought exactly. When after I've built this up and scaled it, then I can start looking into other markets and working on that more.
For sure, moment. So how is Swedish market for e-commerce? Like, did you see like is people buy a lot of stuff online?
Yeah, like everyone orders stuff online. There's a lot of big companies, and people love ordering stuff online. Uh, so in I think in the academy, one video talked about like different markets than the top 5 English speaking, and Sweden was one of them. So I thought this is perfect. This is a perfect opportunity for me. And like me, one of my thoughts was I always order things online, and a person I know who loves ordering things online is my mom. She always orders random stuff like, "Can you get this package?" And like, "What is it?" I don't know. I just ordered it. So I thought people like her, you will just see my product and maybe buy it.
For sure. Yeah, we had I remember we had this client in I don't know, maybe you watched that interview. His name is Emmanuel Sabelcio.
I
He's
watched it.
yeah, he is a great entrepreneur, and I remember we started working together, and he started selling product. He's from Sweden, but he started selling products in the United States, and it's like too competitive. He couldn't crack it. He wasn't profitable. And then we had a conversation. I'm like, why don't you sell products in Sweden? I mean, you know the language, you know the mentality, like literally everything is stacked in your favor. And he started doing that, and he just like scaled up. Like he scaled the store to like a few $1 million in sales, and then he was able to sell the store for like I think $2.5 million as well. And now he's running like even bigger, like even bigger brand. Like he's doing multiple 8 figures in revenue. And I think he lives in Dubai, if I'm not mistaken. And because that's kind of like natural path for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And it just like, yeah, his whole life changed. And yeah, it's so fascinating to see like this, the evolutions of entrepreneurs. But initially, like, just to get the initial momentum, get the confidence, get the capital, I think starting in your local market is probably one of the best moves.
Yeah, and that's actually one of the reasons I joined. I saw that manual story, and I thought to myself, like, that also part of that. If he can make it, I could also do it. Like, he's actually inspired me to start this as well.
For sure, my man. That's awesome. Like, do you believe that like e-commerce is too saturated? Like people saying like e-commerce is too saturated. Like there's too many people like selling products. Like what do you think?
I think it's pretty saturated with sellers, but it's not really saturated with good sellers. Because
Mm,
often when I see a product and I see clearly it's an e-commerce store, and some of the ads, I'm just thinking like, this is not a good ad. I could make better than this. That's a big part of it too. I think I have a really good understanding, like what is good marketing, what looks good. I'm really good with how design is supposed to look, what's appealing, and a lot of stuff is just sloppy, and it feels like there's no real care behind it. So I think if you really take it seriously and you work on improving that, you can. It's not really that saturated. You just have to build yourself up and not give up, because it's a lot of people that just, like you said, build a Shopify store and just give up after a while because they don't take that time to learn and improve.
so just taking it more serious, like approach it as seriously as you can, learning as much as you can, modeling the best people, the best, like not modeling. I think just modeling, that's what I've seen people like they find an ad for another job shipper that's kind of like does like you said, like sloppy job, and they're trying to model them. It's like if you want to model someone, like just model someone who's like operating on a higher level, who cracked it, who consistently runs ads, like who's really dialed that in, because then you're learning from the best, you're striving to be the best, and over time you also be very good.
Yeah, exactly.
So like what, like everything that you've learned so far, like, and the traction that you have so far, like, do you think you could have figured out this on your own?
I think I could have, but it would. I think actually it would take a lot of more time because there's a lot of things or content you got from Brand Builders Academy that I would never like think of doing, like the different pages or texts you need, different prompts you could use. Like it would take a lot of research and time and like learning, and I would definitely waste a lot of more money. Uh, so one of the things people often talk about, entrepreneurs, they don't exchange their time for money. They use their money to buy time, and that's
Mm,
a big part of this. Like it costs some money, but I save a lot of time and energy that would be wasted if I didn't do this. So.
for sure, woman. Yeah, we have a comment here from Michael Corleone. It's good, Godfather. Yeah, I think, just having conversation with you, I think you have an amazing mindset, the right mindset to succeed in business. As long as you stick to it, like you'll be doing some crazy numbers. And yeah, very excited to see your journey. So like with everything that like the experience overall, like in Brand Builders Academy, like which part has been the most helpful for you?
I would say definitely the community and the coaches. Like you get so much information. Like if I did this alone, if I had a question, it would take like a lot of time doing research and trying to find a good answer. But if you have a question in BBA, you can just write in the WhatsApp group or look if someone else has asked it. And sometimes you see someone asking a question and you think, well, I also want to know the answer to this, and you just learn something new. So you always get constant answers to your questions, and that's probably one of the best things.
For sure, my man. So you did it like I mean, you probably have seen some other people in the community, right? Or maybe some other like entrepreneurs that you've seen how they operate. Like, what do you think is stopping like most entrepreneurs kind of like from getting traction faster with their businesses?
I think it's uh, I think it's just learning from all the mistakes. You shouldn't. One of the things I live by is you should never be scared to fail, because
Mm,
you just fail when you give up. Like when that Shopify store fails, you just give up. You don't learn from why you failed. You need to analyze everything you get from trying. Like Mark says, you're not failing. You're just buying data. So it's
mm.
just more information you can use for the next try. So I love failing because I love learning from everything.
You love failing. I love it. I love it. It's a great mindset shift, right? It's like, oh, I really want to, like, most people is like, oh, I really want to succeed and I really like want to succeed fast, and they don't succeed fast most of the time and they get demotivated. For you, it's like, okay, cool. I can learn something from this experience. I can do better next time.
Yeah, of course, it doesn't feel good to fail, but if you
Right.
just if you just accept it and look what you gain from it, you often gain something more useful than just giving up and being sad about it.
Yeah, man. And it's, like, I've been having conversations with entrepreneurs, like knowing them in person, like having conversations like this for many years now. And like most entrepreneurs that are successful right now, like in our community, that are doing, multiple 8 figures, some are doing 9 figures, with their businesses, like the success didn't come fast to them. Like in some cases, they were like for a first year or even two, like in their businesses, like they were like struggling, but they kept going, they kept going, and now they're running very successful businesses that like set them for life. And it's like, if you just project, let's say, okay, next 5 years of your life, or next 10 years in your, in your life. I mean, you're young, there's some people that are already have responsibilities, have family, they have jobs, they have things to take care of. But sometimes, they don't like those jobs and they want to make a shift. But like, what is the real like alternative? Like, if you know that, for instance, you're staying at the job, like you're this kind of like you're hitting the ceiling, you're hitting the plateau, right? So if you, and you're, let's say, so you're here, right? Like, let's say you have this is your plateau, and most of the jobs that people have, like even the paths that you wanted to take, then it's like, okay, if you start a business, maybe it's like it will be here, right? Like you kind of like for a shorter period of time, like it will not be like very sweet. But like as you're learning, as you're progressing through the business, like the potential is so much higher, and like you will just drastically overcome, like and achieve like a lot higher level than you can achieve if you stay where you are right now. And just putting those like bigger time perspectives, like thinking long term instead of short term, I think is a key. And as a result of that, like let's say if you're thinking long term, then everything that you do in the short term, like all of the sacrifices, the money that you spend testing that doesn't work out like right away, the time, the energy, like accumulation of the skills, all of that long term is so much worth it if you commit to it for a longer period of time.
Yeah, that's a big part of my mindset is perspective. You know, if you look at the money you're spending now, uh, and all the time and effort, and you think about all the knowledge you gain now, you can have it for the rest of your life. Like that's also a part of why I didn't want to go to university. Like 4 years, you can spend a lot of time just learning from every day for 4 years, and gaining real life experience. And as you know, the real life experience is more valuable than just studying. So and with the knowledge, the growth is exponential. So you just stack on top of it, and it's just a snowball effect. You just start going through the roof after that.
Yeah, my man. And also as you grow, like even like within our community, like you will start seeing like, so first like you get like 1K a day, right? Then you meet some people that are doing $5,000 a day, $10,000 a day, 20, 50, like 100, it just like kind of like goes, and you get exposed to bigger and bigger like levels of performance. Like we've seen that at our event in Dubai. There's some entrepreneurs that are doing, like $50 million a year with their businesses, $100 million a year with their businesses. We had few that are like 300, $500 million a year with their businesses. And the only difference between those people and everyone else who tries to get into business, they just stuck to it for a longer period of time. It took time for them to learn the skills. It took time for them to get momentum. It took time for them to build that business. But it's like, it's so much worth it, like because the freedom that it will give you, for your family, like, I mean, I don't know how to get it any other ways.
Yeah, it's all about just taking a leap of faith and learning from every step. It's not a linear path. It's because people see success and they think, always try to make excuses like they were lucky, they thought about this and that, but they don't see the work it took them and the struggles and all the days that they felt like shit and just kept going. It's all about that sticking to it, even though it feels like shit, because you
Yeah.
think about the true goal you have in mind.
Yeah, that's why I really like what you said, that like sometimes you see people that are successful, like more successful than you, that are like, you look at them like they're not actually that smart. I'm smarter than these people, right? And so I mean it's kind of like arrogant, like in a way, right? And I think every successful entrepreneur has that. They have this, like in a way, like kind of like superiority complex, that they are like, okay, I'm smart like these people. I'll beat their ass. Like if I'll stick to it for a long period of time, I'll beat them. And I think, and also just, yeah, the belief in yourself that you can do it, that like there's no reasons for you not to succeed. It's like, yeah, these people might have come from different backgrounds, like they might have a different life story, their life circumstances, their family, but I mean, who has a perfect life story? I think everyone faced some challenges along the way. We don't choose, the family that we're born in. We don't choose the country we're born in. I didn't choose to be born in Ukraine, like, and kind of like go through like, many circles of hell. Like, it's I think it's just perspective, that like this is your life. You have your life mission. You want to accomplish it. You want to eventually have freedom to do what you want and live the life on your terms. and everything that you do short term is just a sacrifice to get there.
Yeah, and that's also a part of it, because I thought, like, my life situation, I'm really lucky to get the life I have. So, and I think about a lot of people, they in their life they're struggling a lot more than me, and they're working and getting this to work. So I thought it was just a waste to just waste this opportunity I have to do something that people who work a lot, like, struggle with a lot more than me. Yeah.
For sure, my man. So, what would you say? Like, what would be your message? Let's say to like someone who's watching this, and maybe they're considering. I know some people like, oh, I want to get into business. I want to get into e-commerce, but like I don't know, like I have all these other responsibilities. I don't have time. I don't have. There's always like reasons. What would you say to those people?
Of course, it would be more difficult it varies a lot depending on the life you have, but you don't have to, like, spend 8 hours a day working on this. If you could just spend at least an hour a day, everyone has like an hour a day to work on or something, and just if you keep being consistent, just think about the step in front of you, not being getting to your ultimate goal fast. You can make anything work as long as you just try to learn from every step, and not be so don't think about money so personally, and don't be connected to the money. It's just a part of the building stone. The money that you use to learn, it will be more valuable in the future than you could ever think.
100%. My man, I wish you all the best on your journey. I want to have next conversation with you when you hit 100K a month with your business. Kind of like, I think you'll have some new learnings along the way. And I think you'll be there like pretty soon. A few times, so I do these calls, and I say to people like, hey, we'll have next conversation when you're at 100K a month, and then boom, next month. Sometimes they're like they're there next month. Sometimes it takes a bit longer, but like you said, I think it doesn't matter how long it takes. Obviously it's bad, it's better and more kind of like motivating if it happens faster. But if you commit to this journey, if you're committing to building a business, if you're committing to becoming an entrepreneur, that is almost like a lifetime, like, career choice, right? That's like, what's your job description like, or what's your like title? Like, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm just building stuff and becoming better every day. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm super happy that you got on this journey, and you're getting traction, and that Mark was able to kind of like share some of these beliefs with you, and you actually believed it and you went forward with it, and so now you're in the path to change your life and achieve freedom. So I'm super happy for that, and I'm looking forward to see your next successes, my man.
Yeah, me too. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Bruno. Thank you everyone for watching, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.